Hello and welcome to Don's Trust Election 2024 Meet the Candidates. My name is Graham Stacey and in this session we are meeting Simon Hood. So, hello Simon. If we could kick off, if you could please tell us a bit about yourself and why we should vote for you in about 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for doing this, first of all. So my name is Simon Hood and I'm from a generation who doesn't actually know what my Don's number is. So I can't tell you what that is. I'm going to keep it nice and short and sweet, basically. I'm not in a clique. I'm an outsider. Probably a lot of you don't actually know who I am. And I'm not here to beg for votes. I literally put my name down because I kind of wanted us to have an opportunity to vote for our representation, which we haven't had before. And unfortunately, I also think that the Don's Trust is currently stuck in politics and people are just fed up of it and we become disillusioned with it. And I just want to get the club back to a place where we're united and we're together for a better future. Because do you know what? At the end of the day, when we unite, and our history shows this, we get shit done, right? So I just want to make sure that we are united and we are doing that. And we need to stop overcomplicating things and be transparent with each other. It's okay for the board not to know the answers, right? No one's going to have the answers all the time. And they can admit to that. And at the minute, I feel there's not always that kind of holding our hands up and saying we've done something wrong, or do you know what, the fans are right, we should have done this. To me, that's what matters.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now we're going to ask you 5 questions that we're asking every candidate. Question number 1. We just registered a loss of 1.5 million net for 2023. If you're elected, what would be your plan to help plug the club's £1 to £2 million annual losses?
Okay, so I think I've got a lot of ideas about this. So I'm going to refer back to my manifesto a little bit on this, because my background is basically I brought a business a few years ago and we generate over £15 million last year. So I know a little bit about generated income. Okay, again, I'm not saying I have all the answers. I've got suggestions that I can give to the board, even if I don't get elected. But there's certain things we need to be doing, and that's making use of the facilities, for example. Now, simple idea, self-storage. That top floor is empty. Why don't you rent it out for self-storage? There's currently 83% capacity average across London for self-storage. Instantly done, instant revenue. So it's looking at ideas for revenue generating what we aren't actually doing. We also don't seem to be asking for donations. And I know, Graham, you've done that great campaign when the pitch went and we saw just what that can do. But how do fans make a donation to the club? Is there anyone on the website for it? No, not at all. We can't do it. There's lots of things that we don't do anymore, what have just faded away. Who enjoyed the end of season dinner last season? No one, because it didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Don't know. We used to do an auction there, a raffle, and that used to make income as well. So there's so many things we're not doing. But what I have seen the last few weeks is there's so many ideas from the members. Why are we not channeling these ideas and actually listening to the fans? So I think there's lots of things we can do to try and plug that debt and that generate that income. But unfortunately, the football is football at this day and age. When we started the club back up, we were obviously in a different position than we were now. What was our target? I can't remember what our goal and target was. Was it just to have our own club? Maybe we need to look at them targets again.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Question number 2. If you could change one thing about the Don's Trust, what would it be and why?
Openness. I just don't think that we're open with each other. It's almost become like a us versus them kind of feeling to it, and that's really sad. I don't understand why we don't know everything all the time. I know some things can't be shared, but how many of us actually know the club's losing money? I bet not many fans actually know that, the financial state of the situation that we're in. So I just feel there needs to be more openness. But they also need to get rid of the jargon. I mean, who looks forward to getting an email from the Don's Trust and actually understands and enjoys reading it? It's all business and finance jargon that no one understands, and we just delete it. It took people like yourself and Ivor to go on to the podcast to actually explain what the resolutions were in the last few months, because no one actually understood what the Don's were putting out, the Trust were putting out. So openness and transparency.
Great, thank you. Question number 3. Could you give us a summary of your stance on fan ownership and how we can thrive as a club under the current fan ownership model?
Yeah, I'm against selling. I would go down to 50.1%, but I would need to know that there is strong safeguarding in place. And I don't feel that we know that there is. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel confident that we are protected. We need to learn from our mistakes. That does restrict us, yeah. And people are saying, "Oh, we can sell it," and again, a lack of understanding. Yeah, you can sell them shares, but then what are we going to do when we run out of money again? So I am against it, and I think we need to learn from the future, like from the past, but also be open about what problems that could involve, and a transparent framework, really, that we all need to, as members, need to agree upon. The strategy guide, what got sent out, was useless. It was just a fancy brochure and a tick box, in my opinion.
Great, thank you. So following on from that, in fact, question number 4, how would you describe the trust's standing among members at the moment, and how would you seek to improve that relationship?
I think it's shit. I think it's no one wants to, no one trusts them. I mean, look at the current thing that was going on where the person applied to run for the board and didn't do it because they sent the wrong email address. That was just bad publicity for the trust. And why on earth they couldn't just say, yeah, okay, you showed evidence and go for it. Things like that just makes it political, and people think, do you know what, I've had enough. Why am I bothered? And that engagement is just slid down and down and down. But as I said earlier, we know that when we unite and work together as fans, that we get stuff done. And I don't understand why there is this divide. And I think we need to come together and listen to fans. And, you know, if fans want to try and get something going, we need to listen to them. They did a petition to get Ivor to do the man of the match. 500 fans signed that. Where did it go? Nowhere. And no one can give a reason why he can't do them or who made that decision. And I don't understand that, why they can't be open about that. And being open, engagement, transparency will bring us all together and unite us.
Great.
And I'm here basically to stir the pot. You know, I don't know anyone, so I'm not scared of upsetting people or why haven't we done this yet? No idea is a stupid idea, right?
Great, thank you. Okay, question number 5. You touched on this, I think, but do you believe that the trust board is elected to make decisions for the members, or are they elected to listen to members on a more ongoing basis? And would you be looking to consult members more or less?
My background is marketing, right? So everything I do in my job, I need to listen to what our customers want, and that's exactly what I would be doing as a trust member. I want to know what the fans want. I can't make the decision for everyone, especially I'm only representing myself and my family and that experience I want, but I don't know if that's the right thing for everyone. So we need to listen to everyone. We need to listen to the young fans. Have we ever asked what young kids actually think of the kids zone? You know, is it good enough? Things like that. We need to be listening to every walk of life. Whether you get to one game, whether you come every week, whether you go away, the fact that there's nothing to reward away following is crazy. I think we must be one of the only clubs that don't reward the away following or give them a priority. So yeah, no, I want to listen to fans. Fans are the ones who have the ideas, right? As I said, we don't have the answers. We don't all have the answers.
Great, thank you. That's the 5 questions we're asking candidates. So we're now going to ask each candidate one question directly related to your manifesto, and for this you have up to 3 minutes to answer. So in your manifesto, you say voting for me means voting for accountability, vision, and a commitment to preserving Wimbledon's future while keeping the values that make us who we are. Could you just talk us through what this might look like in practical terms and how values and vision can be married?
Yeah, so I think that when we left Kings Meadow, we left behind some of our traditions, some of our culture. And for some reason, as I said earlier, things like the sportsman's dinner or the end of season dinner, stuff like that really brought us together and was different and unique about Wimbledon. You know, that the players are approachable, and you can go and speak to the directors. You know, Ivor always made himself present. Eric always made himself present. Everyone knew who they were. I just feel at the minute we've got James, the MD, who's done a brilliant job since he's come in. We've got the commercial team, but I don't know what they do. So I would like to try and bring together the culture where they come and talk to the fans and tell the fans what they've got planned and what they're doing, which we used to have. We used to have all these meet the managers, and we do have them now. I get that, but it just feels corporate. It feels we've lost our traditional kind of values and roots since we've moved to this big stadium. And the man of the match thing, which I mentioned earlier, you know, that's such a tiny thing, but that was our identity and culture. And the fact fans want it, why aren't we listening to the fans to have that? And Wimbledon, we talk about being fan owned. That is what makes us special, right? Being fan owned, that is our identity now. And we need to either decide now as a fan base, do we want that as our identity? Do we want to remain fan based? Which I support and fully agree upon. And if we do, we need to accept where that leaves us and work on that. But values and culture of Wimbledon have definitely been lost over the last few years, definitely. And I do think that the Donald's Trust Board is a little bit responsible for that.
Great. Right, well, that concludes our interview. Thank you for your time, Simon. All the best with your campaign. Viewers can watch all the candidate interviews on our YouTube channel, and to vote, members should have a link in their inboxes. Deadline to vote is December the 3rd, and you can find all candidate manifestos at thedonaldstrust.org. Until the next time, thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.